Educators, please welcome Miss Yuliana Dewi.
Okay. Hello, everyone. So it's really nice to see you. Good morning, teachers. Good morning, educators. Good morning, Mentari. Nice to see you online here. Good morning, Naufal, and also Mentari team. Thank you for today. I'm really glad to meet you, although kind of like, okay, so this is online. So usually I come to different places in Indonesia, but this time I have to stay at home and I just met you online. Right. So just to begin with, all of us here are learning together. Yeah. So both you and me, we are going to use the new platform. We are studying the new normal in teaching, and then that we are all overwhelmed by what is that? Our new habit, by our new activity, but we are trying to cope with that together. Okay. Now I'm going to share my slide a little bit, and then later on you are going to use a online platform too. Kind of like I'm going to show you what kind of online platform that you can use to help you teaching. First of all, I want you to prepare if you have any laptop and also cell phone, because if you are using the online platform, I mean like aside from Zoom, you're gonna need to use cell phone and laptop all together. Yeah. The laptop is used kind of like you're gonna need to see the screen, my screen, the teacher's screen, while the cell phone is used to answer the questions, kind of like that. So if you don't have any, that will be okay. So we can just practice it with some of you, but if you don't, you can just see and watch. And then if you have any questions, you can just, chat your questions on the chat room. And then later, the host, the MC, will choose the questions from it. Okay? All right, so now let me share my slide first, yeah? Right, so is it clear? Yep, hopefully, yeah? So, right, good. So today we're gonna talk about teaching speaking for learners in online context, yeah? But first of all, before we are going into the training, I just want to share this one quote with you. I cannot change the direction of the wind, but I can adjust my sails to always reach my destination. So for me, it's really meaningful, especially in this COVID-19 era. So the direction of the wind is changing. Yeah, so all of us has to kind of like adjust ourselves. So we're gonna adjust ourselves together, okay? Using whatever we have and do whatever we can. Okay, now to start with, perhaps some of you have known me before because you have been in my training, but some of you might not be know me, for example. So if you don't know me, I just want you to let you know about me more. But to do this, I'm gonna need you to use an online platform. Okay. So while I'm preparing the website, I'm gonna need you to prepare your cell phone or your laptop, the other. So in other words, you're gonna need 2 gadgets overall. Okay. So I'm gonna start sharing my slide first, and then we're gonna go into the website. Yeah. I'm using Mentimeter. So Mentimeters is practically kind of like application that you can use to have the quiz. I like to use this one because this one is quite simple. Yeah, so that's why I'm gonna share it. Okay, what you are going to do, you're gonna go into www.menti.com and use the code 9447 and 22. Okay, also I'm just gonna give you around 1 minute to do it. So just can you let me know by raising your hands if you? Oh yeah, so I can see the players. Okay. Yeah, so I can see the number of the players over there. And later, what you are going to do, you have to choose, there will be two choices, and then you have to choose which one is me. Okay, for example, like, what kind of songs do I like? Pop or dangdut song? That you have to choose. Okay, so more people. Okay, so novel, I think we're gonna limit that, or what do you think? So we just need 30 people,
I
maybe.
think you can
Is
start,
that
Miss
okay?
Yuli.
So I can start.
Yes.
Okay, so I think I can start. Yeah. So we're until 25. Okay, so I'm gonna start the quiz. Right. So answer fast to get more points. And now look at your phone. What is my favorite food? Noodles or fried rice? All right, okay, time's up. So let's see fried rice. And actually, I like noodles more. Okay, so there are 15 people are correct. All right, so I'm gonna go to the next questions. Yeah, let's see. This one, wait. Okay. Wait. Auto I am. Okay. Oh, I see. So I'm just need to reset this, I think. Wait, yeah? If I'm not mistaken. Oh, okay. So I think I need to stop sharing it for a moment. And then, so actually that kind of Mentimeters, every time you make questions, you're gonna need to reset the results so that you can use the question over and over again. And then so you do not need to create any more questions. Okay. So I'm gonna start again. So I'm gonna present again. So now, okay, so you're gonna go to Mentimeters again. Right, yeah. So this is the perks of going online. Okay. All right. So the second questions. How tall am I? Okay. So let's see. Okay, so because you have seen the questions before, okay, but that's okay. All right, my mistake. So I'm 158 centimeters tall. Okay, so we're gonna go into the next questions. All right, so what happens here? Let's see. So you're gonna look up your phones. Which drink do I like? Tea or coffee? All right, tea. So actually, I like coffee more. I mean, like I need to wake up, every morning. Okay, but anyway, that's okay. Sometimes I drink tea, but not too often. So if I can choose, I choose coffee. Okay, next. Oh, okay. So this one, the previous game. Okay, what about this one? What colors do I like? Okay, pink or green? All right, okay. So all of you, most of you are correct. So I like green more. Okay, that's like that. So now we're gonna see the leaderboard. Wow. Okay, so Indri is leading, and the winner is Sebastian. So congratulations, Sebastian. Right. Okay. Thank you. So yeah, that will be kind of like a short quiz that you can use. What is that in your online meeting with your students too? I like to use with the online platform. I like to choose the simplest one. I mean, like I don't want to complicate the online teaching anymore. But there are a lot of choices that you can use instead of Mentimeter. You can use quizzes, you can use Kahoot, or you can also use Nearpod. Right. So now, so we're gonna go into the core materials today. Talking about teaching speaking in an online lesson, actually you're gonna apply the same principles, the same stages. But because this is online, you're gonna have different delivery and different practices, of course, because you cannot just do as much as interactive activities as that in the classroom, yeah? So let me remind you about teaching principles that we usually have when we are teaching speaking, especially to the teenagers. So you're going to need to explain, especially if you are teaching teenagers, why your method is important. For example, when you are teaching speaking, of course, you're going to go through vocabulary and grammar, and then you're going to also give them kind of like a tip. So why do I need you to do this? Why do I need you to do that before you are doing this? Kind of like that. So make it reasonable for them. And then make them believe that the goal is easy to achieve. I mean, not everyone likes speaking, especially in this online platform, because everybody will just listen to their friends quite clearly, and then you can also listen to them more clearly. So that's why enable everyone to speak. Yeah, it doesn't mean that the English language should be complicated. Just try to make it easier to make them get used into speaking online. And when they are used into speaking online, then you can just make it a little bit more complicated and challenging for them too. And don't forget to drill the language, as the student's voice is said as a crowd of voice. Especially if you have the shy students or the passive student who do not want to raise hand, who do not want to participate in your online classroom, yeah? And then keep the conversation period centered. You can do pair or small group work using Zoom, using the breakout room facility in your Zoom application. And keep fairly short discussion. So do not let your student to do the presentation online. I mean, like, it's gonna take a long time to finish. You know, you have 20, 30 students in your classroom. So I suggest you to keep it fairly short discussions. Yeah. And do not forget with the feedback and error correction. So it should be present. Although this is online, but it's going to be easier because you will listen to them, and then you can take notes. And then later on, by the end of the session, you can address the most common error that your students make, and then discuss it in general without mentioning the names. Yeah. And then the stages in teaching speaking will also be the same, kind of like you're going to present the key language, the vocabulary, and the structure. You're going to present it in a context or in a limited topic. And then you're going to help them to practice. The key language is practice in control activities. And then the last one, you're going to have the production. The key language is produced in a freer, personalized text. But you have to remember, because we are using the online platform, of course, we're going to have some difficulties. So in online learning, I know, but I think like most of us will have the same problem. For example, we're going to have technical problems like slow internet connections, or maybe the application is freezes, and that, the application is turned off, and so on. Or maybe the Wi-Fi is off. And then you have to buy the internet quota. So that's also one of the most complaints from the parents, also the teachers, because it is costly. Yeah. And then you also have limited interaction time and activities. You cannot use a lot more various activities with your students in the online platform. And also, you cannot always control the progress of your students, because you don't know what they are surfing in the internet. You don't know what they are doing after the online meeting, you know. So one way to, to cope with that is that you can use your textbook, I mean, like, to control the progress, because the materials are there. And then you can just make up the assessment based on the materials that you have in your textbook later on. So it's more controllable by the end. And then because, of course, we are searching for kind of like the best applications, the best usage of the internet connections. both students and teachers might get overwhelmed with the load of information online. Kind of like you get confused which platform that I have to choose, and then you end up trying too many platforms in your teaching online, so that it might end up in more technical problems. Yeah. And then also one way that all of us experiencing is that we just end up surfing the entertainment websites or games or online shopping. So that's always happen, yeah. That's also one thing that will take your internet quota more, you know. Okay. So now, I believe that there are still many difficulties using the online platform, but these are the difficulties that my friends and I and also other teachers usually share together. And so we get stressful, we don't know what to do. So the question is that what can we change? What can we change here? I just suggest, this is my suggestion. So you can still do the presentation. You can do the practice together. And then you can do this, you can give the student assignment instead of giving them the production online. So you can just, you can just change the production activities into assignment at home, and then later on they're gonna submit it to you. And what are the possible speaking activities? So if we are looking at all of the online platforms usually talk about quizzes. So you choose the answers. You fill in the gaps, for example. You rank. But still possible speaking activities are kind of like saying the sentences or words out loud. Remember the principles is that it is better if the students speak as a crowd, so that the students who are really passive and shy, they are more willing to speak all together. And then you can also still do the half class conversation if you want to. So we're gonna do them both later on. And then you can also ask the teachers, like for example, 20 questions. So we are also going to do this, but with all 200 participants over here. So maybe not all of you are going to participate. So we are going to choose some of you to participate, yeah? And still giving opinions if you are teaching teenagers, so you can do that. You can also do small group discussions through breakout rooms and online surveys. If you want to, you can use any kind of online, online platforms like Nearpod, Kahoot. That will be okay. Find someone who that's still also possible to be done, but you are better use kind of like the breakout rooms. So you're gonna break them into groups, and then they're gonna work together while you can still visit them. Describe and draw is also still possible, because in Zoom you can chat the student privately, and that you can also share the picture to only one student, and then this one student will describe the picture, the other will draw, and then later on you can match whether the picture and the description is is a match. Yeah. Now, talking about the possible speaking activities, you might want to ask, is it difficult to handle? Yeah, at the beginning. I mean, like, because all of us are just trying to look out for the best interaction activities, but keep on trying, yeah? Okay. So now I'm gonna let you to do it. You're gonna be, the students of class, grade 11, if I'm not mistaken, because we are going to use English elevator international intermediate levels. So actually, I'm just if there is time, I'm going to use two books, Can Do, the second edition, and Elevator. But I prefer to use one book to show you kind of like how the lesson will progress from one step to another step. Yeah? So the unit that I take is from Unit 1, that will be only covering 2 pages. The grammar will be present simple. The vocabulary will cover free time activities. Speaking and writing activities will be discussing personality, writing a questionnaire, and conduct a survey. So actually kind of like if you see the grammar and the vocabulary, perhaps you students might get bored. You know, we have talked about free time activities all the way since we are in primary school. We talk about present simple since we were in primary school up until we are still in the secondary grades, kind of like that. And then writing a questionnaire, conducting a survey. Those also can be done in for the primary students too, but we are also doing it the same, you know, for the secondary students. So it might get them bored, you know, but if you are able to look at the materials later on, you're going to see that you will see the advantages of using the textbook, even though it looks kind of like it's simple. It's just the same like the other books. I can find it in the internet. It's more interesting. But I just find out that using the textbook will be beneficial to you later on. You're going to see why. Okay, so now let's say that all of you are going to be the secondary students, grade 11, yeah? And then later, some of you are going to participate so that Novel will unmute some of you to participate in the activity. Okay, so you do not need to worry about that. And by the way, if you have any questions, you can just chat, write down your answers in the chat room, yeah? So let's say this one is the vocabulary presentation that I'm going to do. So I'm going to use picture. You can use the slides. You can use Quizlet. Quizlet is specifically for flashcard activities at Nearpod. And then say the words out loud. And then you're going to have the vocabulary practices. We are going to do one true, one false. You can do all together in Zoom, video, or you can just want to break them out in the breakout room. And then we're going to do chain reactions too. And then after that, I'm going to go into grammar presentation before we go into the big speaking activity. With the grammar, the context or situation will be presented using by the PowerPoint slide, but you can also use the Google Drawing if you want to, because it is already attached in the Google, in Gmail or Google Drive, and the language presentation will be using PowerPoint slide too. And then with the practices, I'm going to use a lot saying the sentences out loud, yeah, completion, or a half conversation, and then survey, or maybe making the video. So we're gonna see. What you need to take notes is that you do not need to do them all in your online meeting. Perhaps you're going to choose maybe one or two of them to make it a little bit more interactive. And then as you know that if we are going to speak in English somehow, for the Indonesian students, I find it like they are more comfortable if they have known the vocabulary. They are more comfortable when they have known the structure, kind of like how to say it, how to pronounce it together. Okay, so that's why I always start from the smallest part of the language, the vocabulary, the sentences, and then we're gonna go into the bigger practices. Yeah. So now I'm gonna let you know this is the content of the book on the first page. You have introduction. You also have the vocabulary over here. And then you have this 10 vocabulary. You know, if you look at the vocabulary, those are not the free time activities that your students usually do, especially in Indonesia. In Indonesia, we don't do knitting, we don't do skateboarding, we don't do sailing, we don't do backpacking, we don't do bird watching. But we do keeping a web blog, we might run, we might read, we might what else? Sleeping, mostly going to the mall, mostly before the pandemic. So we're going to make it more interesting, okay? All right, now, so let's say some of you will be, the students, yeah? So now, Paul, you can also unmute some of them if you want to. 10 students or maybe
how many participants?
Will be okay.
10 participants, Miss Yuli?
20, okay.
20, okay.
Yeah, 20, okay. Okay. Dan hafal? So just pick up randomly, but if you want to participate, you can just raise your hand and then Naufal will choose you. Ya, ada yang sudah gabung? Okay.
I'm unmuted.
So I'm going to use both Indonesian and English, yeah? So Indonesian just to make you easier to understand so that we're going to save some time. Okay. Yeah, you can also talk here if you have it unmuted. Hello, everyone.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Hello, nice to hear your voice. You know, if you are unmuted, it's kind of like I'm talking to the wall. Okay, so now I'm talking to people. All right, okay. So how many people are there, Naufal? Is it already 20 people?
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, Miss.
Hello. Nice to see
Hello.
you.
Good morning.
Morning. Morning. How are you?
I'm fine, thank
Fine,
you.
fine, thank you.
How about you?
How about you, Miss?
Good. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. It's really nice, you know, to be back online. Right. Right, done yet? So I think we can start. So now, for those who are unmuted, you're going to be my students, okay?
Okay.
So, right. Pura-pura jadi murid gitu ya. Jadi kayak murid nanti kalau misalnya mau komen-komen gitu juga agak apa-apa gitu. You can use both Indonesian and English, ya. Because basically your students will use both of them, okay?
Yes.
Alright, so good morning everyone.
Morning, Miss.
Morning. Miss Yuli again. Semoga nggak bosan lihat mukanya Miss terus-terus di depan layar.
No,
Gimana
Miss.
Halo, sudah pada makan ya?
We have fasting.
Not yet.
Fasting. I have
Oh,
fasting,
dia pada
Miss.
puasa. So sorry. Miss-nya nggak puasa sih.
Iya, it's okay, Miss.
So sorry ya. Okay. So today we are going to have a lesson, an English lesson about, I know the topic is not really interesting to you, but I'm just trying to make it interactive, okay? Free time activities. Okay. Now, as you stay home, so you can see my slide, yeah? As you now stay home, what do you do as in your free time activities?
Take care of my baby.
Reading.
Spending time with gadget.
You are still high school students.
Korean movies. Watching Korean movies.
Watching Korean movies. Wow.
Taking care of my baby. Taking care of my baby.
All right. Okay. So you're doing a lot, yeah?
Bahan.
Some of you. What?
Rebahan.
Sorry, what?
Sleeping.
Laying.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of
Rebahan
like
is a hero.
Do almost nothing. Kan mau jadi hero gitu ya. Ada yang playing games nggak?
No.
Play the games.
No.
Not really. Lack of quota.
Yeah.
Oh ya, ngabisin kuota ya. Nanti dimarahin sama papa mama, kasihan banget.
Iya.
Kalau ini trennya ngabisin kuota nggak?
Enggak.
No.
Enggak lah ya. Okay. So, is there any one of you doing the exercise at home?
Yes, Miss.
Sometimes.
I do badminton. I do badminton.
Iya, biar nggak gaining weight ya.
Yes.
Ada lagi yang masak nggak? Tambah rajin masak gitu?
Of course, Miss.
Of course. Of course.
So you're cooking, ya? Alright.
Yes.
So that's, yeah, perhaps something that you do at home, okay? But now, in Indonesia, imagine if you live in Vancouver, Canada. Look at the city. So you are living in a city, basically, that is what's side by side with the mountain. Jadi ada gunung, ada laut. Mallnya jarang, gitu ya. So kegiatannya tuh kayak begini gitu. So you can just go into the nature, do the walk, do the hiking.
Interesting.
Siapa yang mau pindah ke Kanada nih? Ada nggak?
I want
Gitu
it.
ya.
Mau Miss.
If I have a
Oh,
chance.
1 year is okay.
No longer it's okay,
Sangat
just
mahal
go to
ya.
traveling there.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, so let's dream. We are living there, okay?
Okay.
If you
Okay.
are living there, they have different kind of activities aside than Indonesian students. We usually sleep in our free time. Who doesn't love sleeping? Semuanya cinta tidur, rebahan gitu ya. Tadi kan ada yang suka rebahan tuh. Nah, so if you're living abroad, I mean like in a country like Canada or United Kingdom, these are the free activities that the people usually do. Running.
Itu menarik.
You still do it?
Menarik.
Ya.
Ada
So
santri
we
yang
have
nggak bisa punya kuota tuh kasihan gitu loh kan. Maksudnya yang kelas
collecting things
bisa diganti tugas kasihan banget ya kan.
Collecting
daily.
things.
Bisa berlayar loh di sana tuh. Kalau kaya bisa punya kapal gitu. Boarding because that's quite safe. Reading, mountain biking karena di sana banyak gunung gitu ya. Kalau di sini banyak gunung digigitin nyamuk gitu. Knitting. Kalau knitting nggak? So what is this?
My mom does it.
Kerjaannya emak-emak ini.
My grandma.
Itu ya.
She's really good.
Backpacking is good.
Backpacking.
Nih yang paling banyak dilakuin nih sekarang nih web blogging. Siapa yang jadi vlogger sekarang nih?
Nggak bisa.
Okay. So now, all of these activities might be strange, might not be familiar to you. If you don't know the vocabulary, don't worry. We're gonna do the activities that will include some of this vocabulary. Yeah. What you are going to do later is that you are going to guess the picture. I'm going to show you the picture. And then you're gonna guess. Wah, you're gonna guess it. Siapa yang nyanyi nih teh? Wah, sambil bernyanyian ini.
No.
Nggak tahu. But that's your actual classroom. Yeah. Okay. So you guess the picture. If you know, raise your hand. Okay?
Okay.
And you answer it. Yeah. Okay. So Novel, can you help me to pick up which one that raised the hand first, and then the participant later can answer orally. Jadi dijawabnya langsung gitu ya. Siap ya Novel ya?
Yes.
Okay. So everybody knows what to do.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So Miss Idam Deviana, so what are you going to do after this?
I'm going out. Maybe I'm going to somewhere. I'm going to some place because I need some business. So I must go
I
there.
mean, the activity that you are going to do after this, like guess the picture.
Maybe reading a book, Miss. I'm going to read a book.
Maybe, yeah? You don't know. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to show you the picture. You guess what activity it is, okay? Right. So if you have understood, so please raise your hand.
Yes.
Nah, yang dari yes, ngerti semua ya. Okay, let's see. So, what activity is it? Raise your hand. Siapa nih Novel?
Miss Nisa Ramadhani.
Yeah.
Miss Nisa, what is it?
Yeah. Yeah. This is reading a book.
Yeah.
With a cup of
Reading a
coffee.
book. Okay.
Wait, reading a book.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get 1 point. Yeah. All right. So what about this one?
Knitting.
Knitting.
Duluan yang jawab Novel.
It's
Knitting.
Okay.
Mr. Abdullah Irfan supposed to be.
Knitting.
Okay, right. Kita jawaban bareng aja ya. Knitting.
Okay.
What about this one?
Mountain biking.
That's mountain biking.
Biking.
Mountain
You
biking.
want to try?
Mountain biking.
Not so much. Kind of dangerous, I guess.
Yeah, quite dangerous. What about
Yeah.
this one?
Vlogging.
King.
Vlogging.
King.
Vlogging.
Web blogging.
Vlogging.
Okay. Cara
Yes,
baru
yes,
cari
yes.
uang
Web
loh.
blogging.
Caranya,
Yeah.
Yeah.
web blogging. Very good. All right.
That's
So
right.
what about this one?
Bird watching.
Taking a
watching.
photograph.
That's nice.
Watching.
Walking into nature.
It's bird
Taking a
watching.
picture.
Okay.
Taking a picture.
It seems
Bird
like
watching.
doing a
Watching.
photograph.
Bird
But
watching.
do you find this,
Bird
what is
watching.
that?
Bird
Can
watching.
people over there, they like to watch the bird, kind of like what kind of bird is that? What type of bird? If you want to know more about that, later on you can search what is that on your internet. Kalau kuotanya masih ada gitu ya. So what we are going to do after this, kita bakal mulai lagi
Knitting,
kata-katanya. Jadi you akan ngomong gitu ya, and then you gonna repeat, okay?
How many times do we have to repeat the slide, Miss?
Jadi rame-rame. Nah, kenapa?
How many times
You
do we
cannot
have to repeat the slide to the student? How many times?
Oh, only one time. One time
Is
will
it
be
enough?
enough.
Just one
So
time?
one time will be enough, yeah. Kind of like depending on your student's level of ability. So for me,
Yeah.
one
I see.
time is enough. Yeah, I just
Okay.
want to make it familiar to them. Okay. So let's read it together, yeah. Reading.
Reading.
Reading. Okay. So make notes, kind of like your students will read reading, for example. So you can just repeat.
Reading.
Yeah, reading, for example. Okay, once more. Reading.
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 Okay. Knitting.
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 Ada susah ya, tapi nggak apa-apa. Mountain biking.
Mountain biking.
Mountain biking.
Mountain biking.
Biking.
Mountain biking.
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 Biking. Okay.
Biking.
Web
Mountain
blogging.
biking. Web
Mountain biking.
blogging.
Mountain
Web blogging.
Web
blogging.
blogging.
Web
Web
blogging.
blogging.
Web blogging.
blogging.
Very good, everyone. Bird watching.
Bird
Watching.
watching.
Bird watching.
Bird watching.
Bird watching.
Okay, right. So very good. Okay. So you're gonna repeat it by yourself. Okay. So Miss Yu will not say what is that, the words anymore. So I'm just going to show you the words. You say it all together. Ready?
Ready.
Yes.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Reading.
Reading.
Good.
Knitting.
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 Good. Bareng-bareng ya. What about this?
Knitting.
Biking.
Mountain biking.
Biking.
Mountain biking. Okay. What about this?
Web
Blogging.
Web blogging.
Blogging.
Okay. What about this?
Bird watching.
Bird watching.
Bird watching.
Okay.
Bird
Right. So thank you. Right. Okay. So, yeah. Good job, everyone. So somehow, speaking doesn't always asking your students to talk in a long sentence. Some of them might struggle in speaking only one word or two words. So that's also one way that you can do. And also, the way is quite easy so that your students will not get confused or moving from one platform to another platform, yeah? So now, Ms. Yuli gonna ask, how often, okay? So we are going to do kind of like online activities. So for those 20 people, you are going to open up your Mentimeter again. I'm gonna stop sharing this slide, so I'm gonna do the other one. Punya aku macet. Oke, enggak ya? Kayaknya koneksinya Mas Rusman. Wait, okay. So, usually technical problems. Oke ya. Ini aku kok nggak bisa, ini stop sharing ya. Bukan mau stop sharing gitu.
Yo, Jess. Ya makan.
Oh, okay. Right. Thank you. So sorry about this one.
No worries.
Right. So we're gonna do kind of like using the Mentimeters again, yeah? So this time, I'm going to ask you questions kind of like how often, okay? I'm gonna let you do the, what is that, the screen. Okay. So can you see the screen now?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, okay. So now what you are going to do is that you're going to go to www.menti.com and use the code 91, and then what else?
2999.
912999. Okay. So which activity do you do every day? Take a shower. Okay. So watch Korean dramas every day. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see. There are 15 people taking a shower. 17, 18. Okay. So I'm gonna stop it. Yeah. Watching Korean dramas every day. Wow. Right. So now, but you take a shower every day. I'm gonna go into the next questions. So, which activity do you do every week? Exercise, do gardening, or clean the house? You clean the house every week. Exercise. Okay, so which one? All right, so you clean the house every week. Rumahnya kagak kotor ya? All right, okay, so I'm gonna take the top two. So you take a shower every day, and then you do, what is that? You clean the house every week, yeah? Okay, so I'm gonna put it into my slide again. Orang ini rajin banget. And I'm sharing it. So let's say, so every week let's say, clean the house, yeah? Clean the house. So I'm gonna change it. Clean the house. So let's say, okay, so every day, based on the result of the survey, some of you can say, I watch Korean dramas. But instead of saying, every day I watch Korean dramas, you can say, I always watch Korean dramas, because you do it over and over again, and it's always there. And then what you do every week, you clean the house. So you can say, I clean the house, but you can also say, I usually clean the house, because it's every week, but not every day, not as frequent as watching Korean drama. Jadi nggak sesering nonton drama Korea gitu. Jadi kita bisa pakai usually. That's one way if you want to do some brief activities. With explaining how to use the adverb of frequency, ya. Sekarang kita mau coba activity yang lain. This activity will be a little bit more complicated. I'm gonna ask Novel's help, but before that, I'm gonna explain to you how to do the activity. Yeah. So basically, all of the questions are taken from the book, from the textbook. I'm gonna show you later. But here is the rule. So there will be 5 cues. Ada 5 kalimat yang tidak lengkap. So I will say 2 sentences, create the sentences based on the cues. I'm going to use sentence A. One sentence will be true about myself, and the other is false. And then I'm going to choose one student to guess which one is true and which one is false. Yeah? And later I'm going to reveal the answer. And that later, let's say that student 1, the student that I chose before, will say 2 sentences using the cue in sentence B. And again, one is true and one is false. And later, the student will choose one friend. That will be student 2. The student 2 will guess which one is true and which one is false. Okay? Alright, so that's one. Ini masih mau dilihat atau mau dibaca dulu? So it's kind of like chain reaction actually. Nah, this is the activity that you will do. So like what I said earlier, sentence A, sentence B, sentence C, sentence D, and sentence E. So if you want to participate, raise your hand. Novel will choose you. Novel, say the name later with me. Or maybe the participants that participated before, you can just allow the others to participate, you know, so that everybody can have a chance to try.
Okay, so
Tapi ini
the
juga
first name,
percepatan ya.
the first
Kalau
name is
nggak kepilih
Mr.
novel, jangan nangis. Can we start?
Mr. Gunarso Sarwoko.
Mr. Gunarso, okay.
Yeah, I already
So
unmute your
Mr.
profile.
Gunarso, can you hear my voice? Yes, okay. Mr. Gunarso.
Yes, I can hear your voice clearly.
Very good. So I'm going to say two sentences about me. You guess which one is false and which one is true, okay? Right. I always get up late at the weekend. I always get up early at the weekend. Sentence one.
The second one is false.
Second one is
Second
false.
one is false.
Second one is false. So actually, second one is true. Okay. Second one is true. So I always get up early on the weekend, you know, because I have to teach my online classes at the weekend.
I still have class at the weekend, ya.
Iya, kelasnya soalnya kelasnya beda, Mr. Gunarso. Jadi bukan kelas online belajar. Gitu. So, Mr. Gunarso, pick one person to talk. So, Novel will help. Say the name, Novel.
Okay. So I think it will be Miss Elizabeth.
Yep.
Miss Elizabeth. Mr. Gunarso and Miss Elizabeth, ya. Mr. Gunarso, sentence D.
Sentence 3.
You can start. B.
Oh, the B, yeah. Okay, B. I don't usually do exercise on weekdays.
Okay.
And I don't usually go to church on weekdays.
The second one is true. The first one is false. Am I correct?
Yes, exactly.
Yay!
Congratulations. You get it correct, Miss Elizabeth. Very good.
Okay.
All right, now, Miss Elizabeth, this is your turn. You're gonna say make sentences with QC, and choose one person now.
Okay. The next person will be Miss Pratiwi Samsugiyarni.
Okay, Miss Pratiwi, are you there?
Morning, yes.
Hello. Okay. All right. So Miss Elizabeth and Miss Pratiwi, go ahead.
All right. In my free time, I like reading newspaper. And the second one, in my free time, I like doing exercise.
Well,
okay. So how is it, Miss Pratiwi?
I guess number one, the first one.
The first one is false?
It's true.
Sorry, it's actually false. I don't really need newspaper anymore. I do exercise in my free time.
You don't like reading newspaper, yeah?
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you, Miss Elizabeth. Miss Pratiwi, now you're gonna do sentence D. Now I'll pick up one more person.
Okay, Miss Carolina Widya Mariana.
Okay, Miss Carolina, are you there? Hello, Miss Carolina. You're gonna do the exercise with Miss Pratiwi, yeah? Go ahead, Miss Pratiwi.
Okay. My best friend is never treat me.
My best friend is never
treat me at all.
Treat me.
Oh yeah, okay. It's never treating you at all. Okay.
Yes. And second one, my best friend is never visit me at all.
I think the true is I think the true is the second and the false is the first. Am I right?
True.
What about the answer?
Is the second and the false is the first.
Oh no. No, it's
wrong.
Wrong. Sorry.
Is that correct?
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. It's not correct.
It's not correct.
Okay.
Better like next time.
All right, so better like next time. Okay, Miss Carolina, sentence E. Now pick one person.
Okay, Miss Tini Syafitri.
Hello. Good morning.
Morning,
Good
Miss.
morning, Miss. Okay,
Yeah.
good morning.
I can hear you very
so
well.
Miss Carolina, you're gonna do it, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So for the sentence E, sometimes I wake up early in the morning. That was the first sentence. And the second sentence is sometimes I take a cup of coffee in the morning.
I guess the true one is the first sentence, is it?
No, it's incorrect.
Oh, sorry.
The true one is the second sentence.
True. Okay.
So I often take a cup
Alright,
of coffee
so-
in the morning.
Yeah, so that's
Oh,
all.
really? Okay.
Thank you. Sorry.
All right, that's okay, that's okay. So yeah, that's kind of like the activity that you can do with the smaller number of students, yeah? I mean, like, everybody is participating. Thank you for your participation anyway. Everybody is participating. Look at the sentences. The sentences are not difficult. So I believe like everybody can talk, everybody can speak because they can see, they still see the screen. And then also you give the model to them. And then if there is any mistake, just discuss it later. So do not discuss, do not just, cut them while they are still speaking, okay? So that's also one activity. You do not need to move from one platform to another, so you just stay in the one platform, ya. So now, sekarang kalau misalnya udah ngerti nih vocabulary-nya kayak gini, sekarang kita mau ke namanya structure. I know that you don't like structure, but I try it to make it more interesting, okay? So now, can you unmute maybe 5 persons or maybe 10 persons so that they can also do some interactive activities with me? Thank you.
Okay,
Hello.
Mr. Miftahul Ulum.
Okay.
Miss Pratiwi Samsugiarni, Mr. Bambang Julius Manurung, Miss Johanna Simanjuntak. Okay, one more.
Is there anyone else?
Wait a second. The last one is
The last
Miss
one.
Neng Sumarni.
Neng Sumarni. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Right. So, can you hear me quite clearly, Miss Johanna?
I can.
How are you? Okay. Right. Sekarang Miss Johanna sama Miss Neng bakal jadi ini ya, murid anak SMA kelas 11 ya. Oke. Grammar itu kan paling pasti susah dipahami buat beberapa kagak masuk akal gitu ya. So we're gonna try to make it suppose like, do you know who she is? Lihat fotonya. Ada yang tahu nggak? Penyanyi terkenal. Okay.
I don't know.
Right, so suppose this is Juliana Grande, Ariana Grande's cousin. Punya Ariana Grande. But she's from Italy. Jadi pura-puranya gitu ya. Cari foto kita yang paling cakep gitu kan. Her cousin, she is a singer too. And before the pandemic, she had concert all around the world. But now she is busy with her new normal activities. Kira-kira nih, dia itu kan penyanyi tuh si Juliana ini. Kemudian sekarang lagi pandemi, lockdown. Kalau Italia mah lockdown semua gitu ya. Jadi dia harus gimana dong kegiatannya kira-kira ngapain? What does she do in her free time? What does she do?
Making a small concert from home.
Okay, making concert from home.
Yes.
Okay.
People do collaboration with other singers.
Yeah, collaboration, online collaboration. That's also possible. I'm going to show you her activities actually during the pandemic. You know that every morning she cooks for online food delivery. Jadi dia cari uang dengan cara yang lain. Kalau nyanyi kan udah berkurang gitu ya. So every morning she cooks for her online food delivery. And then she teaches yoga in the afternoon. Jadi dia tuh mau keeping herself fit. And then she goes live on Instagram every weekend. So those are her new activities right now. Nah, karena kegiatannya ini baru, during the pandemic, she does it every day. She does it maybe once a week. It's kind of like routine, ya. Kan sudah rutin, selalu kayak gitu aja kegiatannya gitu. Nah, now if I have a sentence like this, every morning she cooks for her online food delivery, artinya gimana? Ada yang tahu nggak artinya gimana?
Dia online food delivery.
Buat
online food delivery. So she opens a food.
Gimana artinya?
She sells food.
Rutin ya?
She always looks for her online food delivery in the morning.
Okay, so it means like every day. Monday morning, Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning, Thursday morning, Friday morning, she cooks.
Every morning.
Artinya begitu ya?
Yeah.
Saturday morning, no. She has, what is that, the Instagram live. Jadi ganti kegiatannya. Right. Okay, so because you see like, what is that, in the curve here, it's something that is routine, yeah? Something that is habitual to her. So now, my question is that, do we talk about activities in the past, present, or in the future? Present. Okay. So do we talk about routines?
Yes,
Cooks,
we do.
Yeah. Do we talk about habits?
Yes, we do.
Yoga.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we talk about habits. Do we talk about facts? The Yuliana is a singer. She is from Italy. Yeah. So we talk about facts. So when we talk about routines, we talk about habits and facts. We are going to use what we call as present simple. So I know that all of you might know about this earlier, but I'm just going to review. Yeah. So let's take a sample of the sentences. For example, Juliana teaches yoga in the afternoon. What happened if I change Juliana into she? What happened to the verb?
Still same.
Still same.
Still the same. I'm going to change she into he. Is it still the same?
Still same.
Still the same. Now I'm going to change he into they. What happened to the verb?
Teach.
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 It's without es, yeah? And then with we, you, and I, the same.
Also same.
Okay. So you have, sorry? Yeah, so you have kind of like different kind of verb over here. So if you see, we are teaching about the forms to the students. Later on, you can ask your students kind of like, okay, so what do you call the words like in blue boxes, in orange boxes, and then in the purple boxes, the subject. And then what do you call the words in the red boxes, the verb? Some are with es, some only in the base verb. And then you're going to have object, and then you're going to have time and place. That might be easier to them. So you can present it using the PowerPoint slide. If you find it, this is quite easy. I mean, like, because you just need to do the drawing and type it and do the animation. That will be it, yeah? And then if you, if you're still not clear about this, then you can see your textbook on page 2. Jadi mereka juga diarahkan ke textbooknya gitu. Nah, after this, Naval, can you unmute them? Thank you for participating. So I'm gonna go into the practice.
Thank you, Miss.
Thank you.
So, thank you. Doing the grammar, if possible, involve the students, even though this is online. Like some students might need guidance, like the visual aids, so provide the visual aids, yeah, so that they can also speak together. Rather than you just present without any kind of like PowerPoint will help, without any teaching aids, that might be difficult for the students to speak, you know. If you are presenting like this, it will be easier for your students to just follow you, and then they will talk about whatever you want them to speak about. Okay. Now with the practice, in the book, this is the practice I take from the workbook actually. So the practice is only completing sentences with the correct form of the verb. So you just mark them with facts and routines. You can do that as a written activity if you want. But this time I want my students to do it as a speaking activity. So I'm going to modify the activity a little bit. Yeah. So the same questions, but I'm going to put it into completing the sentences and then say them out loud. So you're going to see sentences like this. For example, so you have shops normally close at 5 p.m. Then you're going to ask your students to, okay, I want you to make the sentences complete, read the sentences in a complete form, but look at the verbs. The verb here, it can be changed into S or ES based on the number of the subject. Yeah? So for example, number 1, it will be shops normally close at 5 p.m. So we do not do any changes in the verb because the subject is plural. Now, Naufal, I'm going to need another 10 people to participate with me.
Okay, 10 people.
Kalau yang ini sekarang kita ngomongnya bareng-bareng gitu. Kita nggak mau yang kayak kadang-kadang kan yang satu nunggu yang lain gitu kan nggak enak nunggu-nungguan gitu ya. So get them talk together. Hello?
Hello. I already unmute Miss Miftahul Ulum, Miss Idam Deviana.
Yes.
Boleh.
Miss Nuryati Indrawati.
Okay.
Yes. Mr. Ramli Simarmata. Mr. Didik Setiaji.
Hello, hello everyone.
Hello, Miss.
Hello, Miss. Wow, nice to hear your voice. You know? Okay, so I cannot see all of you, but I'm glad to hear your voice. I'm not alone, so feeling like, okay, so I'm not alone. Mr. Miftahul Ulum is joining again, so welcome again.
Yeah.
Ya. Bisa jadi murid ini ya, Mr. Okay, so what I want you to do, you are going to say the sentences out loud. You have to say it in full, complete sentence. Can you do that?
Yes, of course.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah? Okay.
Yes,
I'm going to show you number 2. Okay. Number 2. You're going to say the sentence out loud. Right? Can we start together?
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
My next door neighbor works in a circus.
Very good. Biarpun ada yang mulai belakangan, tapi nggak apa-apa ya. My next door neighbor works or work?
Works.
Yes, it's a circus. Very good. It's the SMA maksudnya bisa. Alright, what about this one? You do it again. 3, 2, 1, go.
My father always wears a suit to work.
Okay, so I'm going to repeat for you. My father always wears a suit to work. Together again.
My father always wears a suit to work.
Very good, everyone. Okay. So now number 4. Negative. 3, 2, 1.
My sister doesn't like chocolate.
Okay, so I'm going to say it once again for you. My sister doesn't like chocolate. Together.
My sister
doesn't like chocolate.
Very good. Okay, right. Great job. The last one.
We usually correct homework at the beginning of the class. Correct.
Alright. Good job, everybody. We usually correct homework at the beginning of the class. Kira that your students are talking, ya. Meskipun mulainya nggak bareng-bareng, udah biarin aja. Yang penting tuh mau ngomong gitu. So we're gonna repeat together, okay? I will not say the sentences anymore. You're gonna do it by yourself. So we start from number 1 together, yeah. All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Shops normally close at 5 p.m.
Very good. Number 2.
My next
door neighbor works in a circus.
Very good. Number 3.
My father always wears a suit to work.
Very good. Number 4.
My sister
doesn't like chocolate.
Chocolate. Number 5.
We usually correct
homework at the beginning of the class.
Good job, everybody. So at least you are talking in English, okay? All right. Great job. Thank you. Yeah. Right. So now you can unmute them now. Thank you, everybody, for participating. And you see that everybody is talking. Okay. Even though they do not speak at the same pace as the other, but that will be okay. At least they talk. Yeah. Now, the next activity that I'm going to show you is completing the dialogue with do, don'ts, does, and doesn't. So what can you do with this one if you want to make it? Because I want to use this activity as a half-class conversation activities later. So first of all, I'm going to ask my students to fill in the blanks first. If you want to use the online platform, that will be okay. You can just put it into the online platform that I'm going to show you after this. But if you don't want it, then you can ask your students to open up their workbook and allow them some time to do it. Like, for example, okay, 2 minutes, and then you do it together. Back again into the slides, yeah? So now we are going to complete the sentences. What I'm going to show you this time is that you're going to use near part. Okay, so I'm going to share again. So I'm going to share my near part, yeah. Ntar Mas Ruswan, kayaknya yang ini, udah bisa. Sip. So I'm going to share again. So this one, what is that? Nearpod.com that you can also use if you want to create the lesson. You can also do the live lesson, or you can just ask, what is that, distribute it to your students on your student space, yeah? So I'm just going to launch this, the live lesson. What you are going to do later, so we are not going to do this, but I'm just going to show you. Ini masih muter-muter. Ini kalau kayak enaknya online ini begini ini ya. Jadi kadang kita harus sabar gitu kan, menunggu internetnya terkoneksi lagi gitu. So what happened with my internet? Don't go there. Come on in. Bisa nggak nih Mas Rusman? Oh kayaknya kuat ya. Ya baik saya. Kenapa? Nah, okay. So actually, again, the same like the other platform. What you need to do is that you just join in nearpod.com, and then you're gonna put the code PFTVY on your cell phone. Jadi ini bisa dilakukan juga, ya. Right. Nah, do you want to do it? If you want to do it, I'm gonna do it. But if not, then I'm gonna skip it. Mau dilakukan? Yes or no? So you can just raise your hand. No, kok hilang. Okay, so you're gonna do it. Okay. Right. So if you want to do it, maybe 10% will be okay. 10 masih bisa ya, Mas Rusman ya. Kenapa ini kok mati-mati dulu ya? Jadi kayak aku nge-share gitu, terus tiba-tiba dia hilang. I'm gonna try. Okay, so if you have, what is it, joining? So this one, I have the name, Alice Abbas. Okay, so for example, a nearport, you can see the results now. That's what happened. So like Miss Johanna, so you can see the names of your students. I mean, like you can, nah, so ada yang ganteng, oke lah. Ada Joe, ada Aurel, ada siapa lagi? Nah, okay. So I'm gonna start ya. Okay, done. Fill in the blanks. Wait. Tambah banyak yang ikut. Ada Nisrin juga, ada Carolina. Oke. Okay. Great. Into students view. Sebentar saja ini. Oh, this is live lesson again. Ini kenapa ya? Do you want to listen? Okay. Internet connection-nya kayaknya. So yeah, kind of like if you're using the AirPod, you're gonna need a very kencang internet, yeah. So if it is not kencang, so you cannot do it. Ini kalau ini aktifnya. Wait, okay. Wait. Ada apa ini dengan internet saya? So I'm just gonna go to show answers, perhaps. Coba ya. So for example, so actually kemarin bisa. Kenapa yang tidak bisa? Bentar ya,
Miss
sabar
Yuli.
semua ya.
Miss Yuli.
Ya, kenapa?
I think you mistook the button. The button, I mean, you should choose the live session instead of the student page.
Oh, oke. Okay.
Yeah.
Kayaknya ya.
Yeah, I think it's the
ya.
student page.
Oh, okay, right. Okay. Nah, aku matikan dulu. Ini salah pencet live lesson ya.
Yeah, it's supposed to be live lesson.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Nomal.
Okay, let's try again.
Somehow using the online platform is that correct, Noval?
This one's supposed to be, it's correct.
That's supposed, okay.
Yeah, this one is the student page. I mean the live lesson.
Okay, so I need to change into my page, right? So, okay.
You can continue.
I think I'm gonna launch it, yeah? Like for example, okay, kalian semua baik-baik hati menunggu teh. Bentar ya. So one way, kind of like what I said earlier, if you are using this, you're gonna have a lot of technical problems, like what I have here right now. So if you just stick into, so I'm gonna launch it. Okay, quick launch without a lesson. Can I do the launch?
Not that button, usually. I think if you want to continue with the complete dialogue, just make sure you click the live lesson.
Okay, so I've done it. I don't know what is wrong with this one.
Yes.
I've done mine,
and then you can take a look. There is an arrow on the right side, and then you can just click, and then the participant screen will move to the next activity. The right arrow.
Okay, the right arrow, okay.
Okay, and the participant's view will be changed.
Oh, okay. But this one is the classroom result. So where is my fill in the blanks?
So I think only few people answer your exercise.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, basically kind of like, okay, thank you, Noval. So basically, actually, I just want to show you this, okay? So we can skip it, so sorry about this. Actually, students will drag the answers into the right column, kind of like this, you know, and then you can just discuss it and see who has answered it correctly and who hasn't answered it correctly. So you can just check with them. But once again, so sorry for this inconvenience. After this, after you have checked with them, then you can also ask them to check on their books if you want to. If you have, what is that? You want to make it into speaking activities, so we can make it into speaking activities. So I'm gonna, close this page, yeah? We're gonna do the speaking activities using the same, conversation. So I'm gonna close the browser. Example, yeah? So in this conversation in half, now Paul, can you help me with 20
people?
I mean like 10 people will be A, 10 people will be B, yeah?
Oh, okay. So please.
Yeah, 20 people will be B. So you can just randomly assign them, like for example, Miss Carolina A, Mr. Bambang A, kind of like that, yeah?
Okay, so I will call the group A. So there is Miss Nani, Nikki, Astria. So everyone, I think to make it easier, you can raise your hand so I can unmute your profile easily. Mr. Satyawati Gunawan, Mr. Miftahul Ulum, Miss Nisrin Adelia Daryani, Miss Yulia Astuti, Miss Pratiwi Samsugiriani, okay, Mr. Bambang Julius Manurung, Miss Anissa Fitri, and Miss Anissa Fitri and Mr. Budi Azari Lubis. The name I called belongs to group A. So now I will call for the group B. Group B will be Miss Tini Syafitri, Miss Tati, Mr. Gunarso Sarwoko, Miss Nurul Islah, Mr. Muhammad Agni, Mr. Sofyan Hadi, Miss D. Serwanti Vera Sirait, okay, 3 more people. I already have 17 people in here, Miss Yuli. Is it enough? Okay, 3 more participants. I think I will choose Mr. Akdi Merdianto, Mr. Ade Irawan, Mr. Abdul Rahman for group B. Okay, so I will repeat. Miss Nani Niki Astria, Miss Miftahul Ulum, Miss Nisrin Adelia Darayani, Miss Yulia Astuti, Miss Pratiwi Samsugiriani, Mr. Bambang Julius, dan Mr. Budi Azari Lubis, Miss Tini Syafitri, Miss Tati belongs to group A. And then from Mr. Gunarso Sarwoko, Miss Nurul Islah, Mr. Muhammad Agni, Mr. Sofyan Hadi, Miss Serwantis Vera Sirait, dan Mr. Antonius Wahyu Duyatmojo akan menjadi grup B.
Sorry, sir.
Okay, everyone, please wait for a moment. We are going to back to you soon. Please stay still on your Zoom application.
Okay. Tes.
Headset mo dulu. Kurang yang keteruna.
Tes.
Right. And so I'm back, everybody. So sorry for the inconvenience. But the internet.
That's fine.
Okay. So ready, Nafal? Yeah? Oh, that's good. All right. So here, Nafal, have you divided them into A and B? Yeah. Now, if you are student A, I want you to read A lines, and then if you are student B, read B lines all together. Okay? Jadi sama-sama malu bersama-sama ya. Okay, so let's start. Student A, together.
Do you
stay up late? Okay.
Do
Once
you
again,
stay up
student
late?
A, yang lebih semangat dong.
Do you stay up late?
Nah,
Stay up
gitu
late?
dong.
Do you stay
Do you
up
stay up
late?
Okay, right. Now, student B.
No, I don't, because I usually get up. I usually get up early.
Okay, biar nggak barengan. Hey.
What about your brother?
Doesn't he
Your
stay up
brother,
late?
doesn't he stay up late?
Alright, B.
Yes, he does. He's addicted to the internet. Sometimes he doesn't go to the bed until 3 or 4 in the morning.
Go to bed until 3 or 4 in the morning.
Or 4 o'clock in the morning.
Stay up late.
In the morning.
The morning.
B.
3
Okay.
o'clock.
Student A. If you read A, you're gonna read in an angry tone. And then B, you're gonna read it in a crying tone. Can you do that?
Crying.
Okay.
Yeah, because I usually get up early. Okay?
Okay.
Lebay, oke lebay. Kan banyak nonton Korean drama, kan? Student A, you get angry. Shouldn't be crying. Ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Ready.
Ready? Okay. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. A.
Do you stay up late?
No, I don't because I usually get up early.
What about your brother?
What about your brother?
What about your brother? He stay up late.
Kurang marah, kurang marah.
Yes.
Okay. Student A,
Yes,
you
he
can repeat
does.
again. What about your brother? Okay. What about your brother?
What about your brother?
Your brother
Stay up
does
late.
he stay up late?
Yes, he does.
Okay, repeat.
Yes, he does.
Yes, he does.
He's addicted
Yes, he
to
does.
Connected to the internet.
He doesn't go to
Sometimes
bed.
he doesn't go to bed until 3 or 4 in the morning.
Nggak bisa marah.
Like a crazy person.
Oh my god.
I can't see my face.
Dan actors ya banyak nonton one presentation. Some of your students don't have any time, but that's still okay. Okay, so at least interested. So now I'm gonna go into the next, yeah. Please, because if you have only 20 students, it's just to do all of the activities that I've done all the time during the meeting. Okay, choose which one. So one activity that I would like to show you is 20 questions. That's possible, yeah. So with 20 questions, you can just ask your students to ask you questions. Like for example, I want you to ask me a question. The question will be, do you blah 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 in your free time? So you're gonna guess what I do in my free time. And remember, one person only have one shot. So if your answer is wrong, then you have no more opportunity. The opportunity will be given to the other students, yeah? So there will be only 5 winners. So I can only answer yes, no, okay? Now, can you unmute maybe 10% or 20%? But if you just want to participate, just raise your hand so that Naval can unmute you. And then later, Naval, yeah, Naval, you're gonna say their names, and then if Naval says your name, ask me the questions, okay? Only one questions. Like for example, do you do bungee jumping in your free time, for example?
Okay, so from the first person is Miss Yulia Astuti.
Miss Yulia, how are you, Miss Yulia?
Very well, thank
Good.
you.
Okay, now Miss Yulia, I'm good. Okay. Miss Yulia, you ask me the question.
Okay. Do you cook in your free time?
No. Saat ini adalah pukul 11:23. Okay, so you get it wrong. All right. Okay, next, Novel.
Mr. Miftahul Ulum.
Yeah.
Okay, again, so 3 times in a row, Mr. Miftahul. Okay.
Do you read a book in your free time?
Sorry, can you speak up, please?
Do you read a book in your free time?
Yes, I read a book.
Okay.
Okay. Right. Okay. Who else?
Miss Tinisha Fitri.
Hello.
Tini.
Good morning, Miss.
Morning. Okay.
The question is, do you listen? Yeah. Do you listen to the music in your free time? Hopefully, yes.
Nope. Nope.
Oh.
Okay. Anyway, that's okay. All right. Next, Novel.
Miss Nancy Niki Astria. Nani, I mean.
Okay, good morning, Miss.
Good morning.
Okay, do you do exercise in your free time?
Oh, yes, of course. I do it to keep me fit.
Yay.
Great job. Okay, next.
Okay, is it Miss Setiawati Gunawan?
Yes.
Miss Setiawati, okay.
Yes. Do you, let's see, my question has just been being robbed by the previous one, so I have to think the other questions. So, do you take a nap in your free time?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Ah,
Yeah, that's good.
thank you.
So, yeah, I take a nap in my free time. I like sleeping. I like rebahan. Okay. All right. So one more.
That's good.
One more will be Miss Elizabeth.
Miss Elizabeth. Okay.
Do you drink coffee in your free time since you like coffee?
Yes, that's true, Miss Elizabeth.
Okay.
So you used to remember, yeah?
Great.
Okay, so Naufal, I think one more, Naufal. That will be
One
okay
more.
because there are only there have been 4 winners. One more.
Okay. One more will be Mr. Muhammad Agni.
Okay, Mr. Muhammad.
Okay, hello. Hello, Miss.
Hello, Mr. Muhammad. So give me the question.
Okay, so my question is, okay, do you do manicure in your free time?
Oh no, I don't. I don't do manicure in my free time. So look at my fingers. It's kind of like clean, you know. Okay. So anyway, that's all. Okay, so I have 4 winners over here. Mr. Miftakul, yay! Miss Nani, yay! Miss Elizabeth, and Miss Satyawati. Good job, everybody. So that's also one activity that you can do with your students. That's possible because you do not have 200 participants, yeah? Right. So after you have done with the practices, you can just assign your students into the project. The project that I will assign to my students based on the topic is that they can do online survey. You can ask them to kind of like complete the questionnaire. The questionnaire is on the textbook, but they can do it at home. I mean, like they can just do the WhatsApp video with their friends, a WhatsApp call, and then after that they have to submit the result to you. Or maybe you want them to make a video, a short video, and then to be posted on Instagram. And then here is the rule. Your students are going to make a short video about their free time activity. The video must be 1 minute long at the maximum. And then they have to post it on their Instagram story starting on May 18th to May 20. So during that time, they have to tag you, for example, you have to tag me and use hashtag, for example, kind of like you can create any kind of hashtag. And then the rule is that you must talk in English in the video, and the video was positive during the pandemic, kind of like that. So that's kind of like the project that they can do, yeah? And because they tag you, you're gonna see them. And because they also use the hashtag too, so you can just chat from the video too. Okay, so that will be kind of like the possible speaking activities that you can do online with your students. And then what I want to highlight is that make use of the features of Microsoft applications, which you have been familiar with. Why? So Microsoft application is actually quite sophisticated, so if you know how to make use of them. And also because just use 1 or 2 online platforms when teaching, like what I did earlier, because I used 2 online platforms. So when there was a problem, so that will take quite a lot of time, and then you will not economize your internet quota, and then you're gonna have more technical problems, yeah? It doesn't mean like using the PowerPoint slide is not sophisticated. Yeah, I know, but that's still possible, you know. The point is that you're gonna teach your student to learn, not to play games only. So using the online platform is okay, like to boost the students, what is that, being fun, encouraged in the classroom. But do not forget the core message to your students. They are learning. Any technical problems like what we experienced before, or that you usually experience in your online teaching, You can also use a textbook as the resource for the assignments too. And if you see that the assignments that I assigned in this activity, it is taken from the book. Jadi nggak usah bikin lagi gitu ya. And then also if your students are still do not understand the principles, they can just revisit the principles at the textbook. And then you can also economize the internet survey. If you just let your student, okay, I want you to look for the information about COVID-19, and then whatever information, they don't have any limitation, then they can just have, they will end up in looking for unnecessary information. So in one way, the textbook will limit your search, and then you will limit your internet quota, you will economize your internet cost. That's the point of having textbook and also online. So I think you're gonna need to have them both, yeah? And use the online, so because you have already got the printed materials, but also you have the online platforms, so use the online meeting mostly for explaining the core of the materials, so not just dropping the task or not just discussing about the questions. What is that, the problems that the students have, kind of like that. And then it is also useful that if you do all of the tips, perhaps, I expect that we can anticipate all of the technical problems through the use of the textbook and selected online platform. Make it simple, something that you know already. And then economize the internet quota as you are using references, will allow the limiting in the internet, ya. Jadi nggak bakal kemana-mana gitu, nggak bakal ke Tokopedia, nggak bakal ke Netflix, nggak bakal kemana gitu kan. So it's kind of like focus. And you can also gain control on your students' work and progress if you just use kind of like, okay, so I'm just gonna stay in this platform, I'm just gonna stay using this kind of textbook, so I know until which point my students are progressing, kind of like that, everyone. So that's what I want to highlight today. I really thank you that you are participating. So what I want to say is that wherever you are, whatever internet connection that you have, start where you are. Use what you have. I mean, like, use whatever you have. If you have a whiteboard in your house, you are lucky, use it. You have only a paper like this, use it. You can still use the paper. You can use any kind of platform that you have. You can use the PowerPoint. You can use the Microsoft Word or Microsoft Excel. You can use all of the Google applications and do what you can. Okay? And you see that my presentation is not really sophisticated, but I can make you talking, kind of like that. All right? So thank you, everyone. Thank you for participating. I'm so sorry for the inconvenience before, but I hope that we are all learning together. I learned from you. I learned from my colleagues too. And then I'm just trying to put them all together in my training. Thank you very much, sir. I hope to see you again in the next session. Thank you.